nothing an Aquarius loves more than being told how different they are. What's going on, world? It's your girl Emmy here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my bedroom. And welcome back to another episode of me. I'm still playing around with the intros. I don't really know if this is what I'm gonna stick with, but it's what I've been using lately, so I might continue. But clearly, if you clicked on this video, you already know what's going on. It's the Mars series. So let me just get right into just understanding what Mars represents in astrology. Mars is a planet of action, and it basically tells us how you go about getting the things that you want. It's what distracts you, it's what motivates you. It definitely does have an element of your overall energy, passion, and drive. Think about Mars in mythology. Mars is a planet of war, so it definitely does have those elements to it, aggression even. There's also a sexual energy, your overall sexual energy. It can show what you're attracted to. I'm mainly focusing in this series about the instinctual and ego side of Mars, but Mars is the planet of sex. So sex and aggression, right? But yeah, I think that's straight to the point. I think you get it. So let's just move on to the next sign. Okay, so in Aquarius Mars. In Aquarius Mars, these are very eccentric people. They're very spontaneous. Unconventional, I feel like, is a really good word to describe any Aquarius placement, really. Especially with Aquarius Mars, I feel like you just are really a trailblazer, and just paving your own path. And you're just going to lay foundations for yourself that are very true to you, and live your life in a way that's you do live your life in a way that's very true and authentic to you. These are people who walk to the beat of their own drum, and they're very I said true to you so many times, but they like how they present themselves. They may have their own style, like their own aesthetic, a different vibe even. Nothing an Aquarius loves more than being told how different they are. Yeah, but just very true to themselves. How they present themselves is going to be, Aquarius can be difficult to describe because no two Aquariuses are the same, all right? Every Aquarius, especially the women and the ladies, every Aquarius is going to be hilarious because the Aquariuses are funny as fuck. They're funny. Y'all are funny as hell. Y'all are the funniest sign, I know. But it's really hard to explain or describe you because everyone is going to be so different, because Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus, right? So it's even that planet lays on its side, different than all the other planets, right? So you just, no two Aquariuses are going to be the same because no two trailblazers are going to be the same, you know? So I'm going to tell you what I can say, okay? But yes, freedom is very important to you. Like a Sagittarius, you need to let the Aquarius come to you. They need their independence. They value their independence. They are free birds. Think of the Fool card in tarot. I can post it. They do not want to be confined. They are very individualistic. If you're somebody that's romantically interested in Aquarius, kind of like a Sag, like I was saying, they want someone that they know can live their own life. They want someone that lives their own life, and then they have one together. Like, they don't want someone that's going to be all up under them all the time. Like, they want freedom. They're not the clingy type. Okay. Their energy, they come off very calm, cool, and collected. They're very introverted. They have introverted energy. They have a very innovative approach. I feel like whatever your goals are, because Mars is clearly the planet of action and determination and goals. I feel like whatever you're working towards, or whatever you want to build for yourself, or whatever you're doing, I feel like, or even just how you think, like how can I do this differently? How can I do something that's more authentic to me? You just have an innovative approach to things. You also have a very scientific mind. You also are very spiritual people. You are the water bearer. Water is always represented with intuition and spirituality, and the water bearer being able to hold that vessel. I feel like that knowledge of spirituality and emotion. I feel like you may be curious about those kind of topics, or space, which a lot of Aquariuses are always known to be, like, I want to find an alien, or whatever the joke is for Aquariuses. But yeah, I feel like you are probably really interested in like space, aerodynamics, I don't know, STEM topics, anything in the science world, anything with tech innovation, right? So just very progressive, very innovative thought, like areas of things that will really stimulate you, because it's always like discovering new things, you know, and that's what you like. They don't like rules. They don't like to be told what to do. They don't really have value for tradition, like I mentioned, because they're so innovative and they're paving their own path. There's no real need to hold on to the values of tradition, right? But I think that depends on the rest of your chart too. You might still, you know, have some respect for those things, or not respect, I don't want to use that word, like you might still have some interest in those things. They like to do things, okay, like I was saying, you don't like rules. You like to do things your way. You might even be the type of person, depending on the rest of your chart, that goes out of your way to break rules. My sun and my Mercury is in the 11th house, and if I'm at a museum, I don't know why I'm saying this, if I'm at a museum, I want to touch everything, and I don't mind if I get yelled at. You can yell at me, I'm still gonna touch it. Never been kicked out, but I do this every time. But yeah, you like to find reasons to break rules. You might have been that kid that just like asks a lot of questions, like why does it have to be like this? Like, I don't understand, why this doesn't make any sense. And I'll be like, because this is how it is. And you're like, but do you hear yourself? And that probably got you in trouble too. The 11th house also is community. You care a lot about the collective and humanity. You look out for the underdog. Y'all love the underdog. Always looking out for the underdog. You just have a very open and understanding mindset. Love listening to people. Love listening to people who are, you know, different or different than you. You just like to learn from folks. Learn from people's experiences. They like things peaceful. You like things to go with the flow. You like to go with the flow. You don't like people who do too much or draw too much unnecessary attention to themselves, or just like are obnoxious. You like to respect the space, you know, it's a collective space. You know, if you're at a bar or something, and even though out to dinner, like you don't like people who are just being obnoxious, because it's like, you know, we're all sharing the space, it's not just you. So you're mindful of that. Aquarius is very unpredictable, like I was saying. It's really hard to pinpoint. You'll just do things on a whim, you know. If you get an idea to do something, you'll just go for it, which is great, which is really dope, you know, because not a lot of people are, you know, I don't know if I should do it, Like, you'll probably cut your hair, dye your hair if you want to, you know. If you get an idea for something, you'll just do it. It's not necessarily just aesthetic. That's just all I can think of. But, you know, if you get the idea, it comes to you, you take it and you run with it. I kind of mentioned the learning aspect, but you want to learn as much as you can, deeply and thoroughly. You know, you are a fixed sign, okay? It's fixed air, okay? Fixed air. So you are intellectual people. Because it's a fixed sign, you have that discipline that will keep you focused on like seeing things through, and like wherever your curiosity or leads you, you're going to learn it very like thoroughly because of that, if that makes sense. Like I mentioned earlier, Mars has an element of sexual energy. So Aquarius, I would say you like variety, maybe sexually. You may be open to trying different things, or just switching it up, probably into, you know, kinkier things even. I feel like you probably don't really need an emotional connection sexually, or you know how to separate, you know, just sexual and like romantic, for example. Reason why I say that you don't need emotional connection is because you are known to be emotionally detached. You are emotionally detached. You know, con of Aquarius, they can be very cold. I don't want to use the word insensitive, but cold. These aren't the type of people to be emotional or have their emotions get in the way of the things that they want to do or things that they're doing. They may even have a very hard time expressing their emotions, or they may turn to even anger. Like they're very good at like having poker face, of not showing you, you know, their emotions, what they're thinking. Like you could be in an emotional conversation with them and they could really look unbothered, but that's not true. They just have like I don't want to call it a resting bitch face, but it's just flat, or it can be flat. Bothered, it looks unbothered, I guess, right? You're just like, I like to think of Aquarius as like a computer, and like computers don't know how to process emotions, not yet. I'm sure there's an Aquarius Mars somewhere trying to figure out how to give a robot emotions. Probably not, because they don't care for it either. But yeah, computers, they don't have emotions, so you just don't really know how to like malfunction, don't know how to compute this setting. They're very good in groups. They're very good with working with the collective. Their one-on-one relationships, not as much. So that's a thing. I think that is an element of it. Even though they're not as good as with the emotional side of things, they do go hard for the people they care about. They don't take their relationships lightly. If you're into an Aquarius, they want to be friends with their partner first. They don't just jump into relationships. That's not their style at all. They are a fixed sign. They are a fixed air sign. So you cannot change their opinions. You cannot change an Aquarius's Mars opinion. Yeah, I think the last thing I will say about Aquarius Mars is that whatever you're working towards, you will make happen. And whatever you do, whatever you're doing, you do it in a creative way. You do it in a very intellectual way. And everything you do is just authentically you and authentically yours. So yeah, that's everything that I have on an Aquarius Mars. Please let me know down below if I forgot anything, if it resonated with you. If it didn't, if you know anyone with an Aquarius Mars. I really appreciate you watching, especially if you watch it to the end. And like this video, duh. Did I say that? I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you in my next video with Pisces. So thank you. Bye.